Hello and welcome to the day 3 of 25 days of Christmas card making tutorial series. This time we are going to create a 3D project. It's a piece of holiday decor, a diorama that is shaped like a snow globe. There is actually an easier and a more complex way to assemble this type of project, and I'm going to show you both of them. Let's start with the more difficult one. The die set I'm going to use is called Diorama Elegant Ornament by Paper Discovery. This die set can be used for both diorama and round boxes. In this tutorial I will only be showing you the diorama. There is one die in this set that is quite big. This one is almost 12 inches long. So if you have large cutting plates, you can simply place it between the plates and run it through the machine as usual. But the point is, you don't really have to have a wide die cutting machine. You can use the standard 6-inch wide machine. This is how you do it. I have taped down the die, then I'm placing it between the plates and running it through. Then I'm simply going to move that die towards other end and send it through the machine again. And this way the entire die is going to cut. All other dies are pretty standard size and they are going to fit into 6-inch wide machine like a standard big shot. I have used all the dies except that snowflake and the second largest circle. I have to die cut the long strips 2 times, and I've also made 3 open circles, and all the other dies are only have to be cut 1 time. This time I am making the diorama with the frame, and this is how I'm doing it. I have to apply some adhesive onto one of the strips and onto the other as well. I'm flipping one of them over and sticking them one on top of another to create a double-sided strip that has the tabs on both sides. Then you can use a bone folder or the scissors to curl it up a little bit. This way it's going to be a bit more pliable. Next I'm going to create the back of my diorama. So I'm sticking one of the rings on top of a piece of vellum. You can also use the same die to cut it to the circle shape. But since it's the last piece of vellum left, it was not big enough for me, so I'm using the scissors. Then I'm going to apply some tape adhesive onto all of the tabs on one side of the strip. And then I'm going to attach it to the circle. And this is the most convenient way to do it for me. I'm placing the circle onto the table and then I'm tucking all the tabs behind it. I'm just making sure that strip touches the edge of the circle. And then when I finish the full circle, I'm sticking down the end. I'm using one more ring to attach it at the back of that box. This way it's going to cover up all the tabs, and it's also going to make this construction a bit more stable. Now when my snow globe shape is ready, I'm going to fold out all the tabs and assemble the diorama inside. And this is exactly what I need all those strange-shaped pieces for. Those ones are actually snow banks, although they can also work as hills or waves. You simply have to apply some glue onto the tabs only and stick them down inside the box. The tabs are all the same length, so when you are attaching the hills, they are all going to be equally spaced and you don't have to measure anything. Once all 3 hills are attached, I'm going to fill in the diorama, and this is what I need the village die set for. I've die cut this church image out of brown wood grain patterned paper, and then I'm going to use a piece of yellow cardstock to attach it at the back side, and this way I'm going to light up the windows and the doors. Then again I'm applying some glue at the back side, and I'm sticking down that church to the second hill. To finish off the scene, I'm going to use those small die cuts, the crescent moon and some stars. The dies are from the set called Window Editions, also from the same Paper Discovery Christmas collection. I'm sticking down the moon and the stars right onto the vellum background. The glue I'm using is Ranger Multimedia Matte. Now I'm going to attach my 4 wooden frame at the front, so I'm folding back all the tabs inwards. Then again I'm applying the glue, and I'm sticking down one remaining circle right at the front, and I'm holding it down until the glue dries. As always, the tools and supplies I'm using are listed down below in the description box as well as on my blog. The diorama is ready now, but it can't be standing on its own, and this is exactly what we need this die cut for. We are going to make the base for it. Before I go ahead and assemble it, I'm going to stick down this panel onto the front of the base. When the glue dries a little bit, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to fold that die cut along all the crease lines that are created by the die. The entire stand or base is going to be created out of just one piece. When I'm done with the folding, I'm also going to use the bone folder again and curl up those 2 large tabs that have small tabs on them. And this is the way I like to assemble this piece. I'm folding down those 2 bottom tabs completely, and I'm not even going to apply any glue onto them. I'm only applying the glue onto remaining 2 ones on both sides. I don't know why, but somehow it is the most convenient way for me to do it. So I'm sticking down the tabs just like that, and I'm holding that piece until the glue really bonds the paper together. Then I'm going to repeat this process on the opposite side, and the snow globe base is finished. To attach the snow globe onto the base, I'm applying the glue onto the tabs as well as at the bottom of the snow globe, and I'm just placing it on top of the base like that. And this is the first diorama nearly finished. I'm still going to add some finishing touches, but I'm going to show you how to do it at the end of the video. By the way, I used vellum because I like the fact that it is translucent and it looks really nice when backlit. Now I'm going to show you the easier way to assemble the diorama, and in this case, easier absolutely doesn't mean worse. For this diorama, I'm only going to need 1 long strip as well as 2 largest circles from the set. I'm applying the adhesive onto the tabs just like I did for the first project. I'm simply running the tape all the way down, and if there is some tape between the tabs, it absolutely doesn't matter. Then again, I'm going to attach the circle just like I did before. I'm placing the end of the strip somewhere where it's supposed to be the bottom of the diorama, and then I'm again wrapping that strip around the entire circle, and when I come to the beginning, I'm applying some glue at the end and stick down that tab. I'm using the bone folder to press down all the tabs, and this way they are going to be really well stuck. Then I'm going to use the second circle and apply it at the back to catch all the tabs between the 2 circles. This diorama is not going to have any frame at the front, it's going to be completely open. Then I'm going to attach all 3 heels just like I did before. I'm applying some glue onto the tabs and sticking down the heels one by one. Since there is going to be no frame, we are going to have more space, and that's going to allow us to add more elements to the scene. To fill in the diorama, I'm going to use the same village die set, and this time I'm going to add 2 houses. I have stuck down a piece of yellow paper at the back of each house, and now I'm adding them right onto the hills, again using Ranger Multimedia Matte glue. Those die cuts are the branches from a bird and branch die set from my first release. When used with the small houses, those branches can totally be the trees. So I'm trimming down the die cuts whenever I need to, and I'm sticking them down onto all of the hills as well as right onto the background. This project is definitely the winter holiday one, but you can use all the same dies to create the scenes for each season just by choosing different colors. I have created the snow globe base exactly the same way. Then I'm applying some glue onto it, and I'm sticking down the snow globe onto the base just like that. This time I'm going to add the full moon to that scene, so I've die cut the small circle out of white paper and I'm sticking it down onto the background. Now I'm going to show you a really fun way to add some dimensional snow to your project using the texture paste and a small plastic bag. I trimmed off the teeny tiny corner from the bag, and now I'm using the spatula to fill in that bag with the white texture paste. You don't really have to add a lot. Zip bags are really convenient, but it's not really necessary. So I'm closing up the bag and I'm moving all the paste onto that corner. So what I have made is actually an icing bag, and I'm going to squeeze the texture paste through that tiny hole at the corner and apply the snow onto all the buildings, onto the hills, as well as onto the branches. It's really convenient because you can reach inside this dimensional project and even apply the snow behind the die cuts, behind the buildings if you need to. When I'm finished, I'm squeezing out all the remaining texture paste back into the jar so I can use it again when I need to. So that finishes my projects for today. And this is what they look like. You can see that the one with the frame actually looks a bit smaller, although in fact they are absolutely the same size. The one with the vellum background can be backlit, but the one with the patterned paper background definitely has more color. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to show you how to use the same die set to create round boxes in one of the future videos. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. The project number 4 is coming out soon, so what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel and you are not going to miss it out. Have a beautiful day.